started. Welcome to the Scarf Bagara War, the original Stockport County podcast for fans by fans. Whether you've been supporting County for years, are exiled or are just getting started, we've got you covered. And here's what you can expect. We'll bring you 2 shows a week, starting on a Monday with our Courtyard Club call, dropping at 1pm. Opinions while we're at the match, tactical breakdowns, player insights and more. On Wednesdays, it's our live 8pm show on YouTube. Lively discussions, opposition previews and exclusive fan guests. We've got Patreon specials. Become a member of our Patreon subscription for £3 a month and you can unlock exclusive content. Members get access to special guest episodes, ad-free shows and monthly giveaways. Not forgetting, we've been at this since 2015 and are the original County Fans podcast. Find us on your favourite platform, Apple Podcasts, Spotify and wherever else you can get your podcasts. Go to scarfbagarawar.co.uk to find out more. And subscribe now to never miss any content. Remember, it's for County fans, by County fans.
Somebody in the way, battling, having got in way of the attempted clearance. Jim Gannon. Oh, great flick on by Alan Armstrong. Oh, what a beauty! Oh, what a beauty!
This against Bradford, but here's Warburton!
Yes!
Oh! And then trying to manufacture the shot, gets it away, yeah!
Not got it clear. Please, sir! It's a cracker!
Armstrong played in the game and a superb goal.
Tony Goody. Stockport County are the champions of League Two.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Scarf Bagara War with me, Russ Johnson. It's another week. It's another episode of talking about County. Andy, you okay, mate?
Yeah, good. Thanks, mate. You? Yeah.
Yes, it's nice to hear you loud, crisply. And now you've definitely elevated yourself. You're not in the promotion zone now for friend of the show. You're up into the top tier, mate.
Well, I think I say this every time I'm on. Surely I should be team of the show or something like that. You know.
Well, we might. Let's have a production meeting for that and think of what we can call you.
Okay.
Yeah,
well, yeah.
something nice.
Let's not jinx anything technical wise. Let's just go with it, and we'll see how we get on. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And we're joined by Stu. You all right, mate?
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not bad. You
all right, Andy?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Stu. Yeah. Sorry. It's really confusing because when you're backstage, we've done all the hellos. So obviously, when we have to come on air again, it's like hello again.
Yeah, gotta get used to that.
Nice to be nice.
Yeah, that's true.
It is nice to be nice. How's your week's been? Been okay?
Yeah, been good. Yeah, it's the same story, isn't it? With me, if it's bad weather, it's a bad day. But yeah, just it's not long now. I've got 4 or 5 weeks until I'm off for 3 months, and then.
Not hard for some minute, hey.
Yeah,
3 months off.
But I got a week off, half term before then, so yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, happy days. And are we looking forward to a week of, a Saturday of no county? I think that's the best way to put it. I know there's England matches, and we might touch on those, but
no is the answer.
No. Hate it when there's no county.
Oh, do you? You hate what? Yeah. What international? Well, we'll come to that later. It's another. Maybe we'll talk about it later if we've got time about the international break and whether people like it or not. Personally, I don't mind it, but each to their own, I guess. Tonight on the show, then. So we've got loads to get through, so we better get cracking. We've got a fan guest to bring out almost imminently. We're going to talk about Wigan 0-0, Powell's return, those international call-ups. Again, we'll talk about that. We've got getting rezzers, Betty Bet game. And we'll talk to our fan guest. Oh, nearly said his name then. Oh, nearly gave the game away. About themselves, how they supported County, and anything like that. Before I do any of that, though, just a couple of bits of admin. We are in the final of the Football Content Awards 2024 down at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Going to be a big event. It's going to be loads of people there. So we would appreciate if anybody could give us a vote on that. That would be really much appreciated. I will stick the link into the comments so you can vote while you're watching if that's something that you would like to do and you like what we do. Thank you very much.
You need to have one of those things, a sign that comes up, Russ, so you can just go like that. Is it vote now?
Vote now. Yeah, well, I'll do this for now.
Vote
If you
now.
do like what we do, if you're watching the live show or watching the recording, please, there's our link to our Patreon member subscription. We've got it all
Oh,
sorted.
you don't do that when people do that.
Vote.
Right,
Yeah,
when you watch
yeah.
a Strictly or something and they do that. Wow. No, I'm going to vote for someone else now.
Yeah,
Just because you did that.
just because you're doing that.
Just because you're doing that. Yeah.
Good stuff. And I think we'll probably do an announcement as well with Stu about something to do with County Ladies. For those watching, the clue is on the screen. But for those listening, you're going to have to wait till the end of the show. There we go. Bit of a tease for you, isn't it? Right. So without further ado, shall we get our fan guest out?
Yeah,
Do it.
get him out.
Yes. Okay.
Gleeson! It's a cracker! Stephen Gleeson! What a beauty!
Good evening, Steve.
I wish that was me.
What, Gleeson?
Yeah. Oh, you're right.
Yeah, good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks. Good to be on. Thanks for having me.
No worries, no worries. Glad to have you on, definitely. First things first, then, let's talk about you, and we'll ask you the questions. When was your first game?
So, first game is a vague memory. I'm going to say it was about 1980. Sheffield United 0-0 at home. Got no other. I don't know why I remember it, but it's just one that springs to mind. First one I actually remember going to was the 2 Liverpool games in the Milk Cup, as was. But in between,
About 87, that 88,
no,
something like that.
84, I think.
84, that was it. Did Osher Williams hit the bar in the last minute or something?
At Edgeley Park, he did, yeah.
Yeah, that was
So,
it, yeah.
so I think the 1980 game would have been about 6, the 84 game, 10, 11 years old. In between, attended many games unofficially by jumping over Alvin Morrison on a Friday night and just watching the game that way.
Nice. So you right. So you were there for the Liverpool games. I'm sure we've had people on who went to those games, but I don't think anyone's really spoke about them. I mean, what do you remember about that? What was it like?
I was only 10 years old, so obviously a lot of people know me. My nickname's Scouse. Reason being, my dad's a Scouser. My dad's from Highton, Liverpool fan. Went to the home game with my mate and his dad. I'm from Adswood, so his dad took us to the first game. The second game, Anfield, I was actually in the Cop with my dad. And I remember... no, I was 10 years old.
10 years old, giving it out.
yeah, starting on all the little Scouts kids. No, it is very vague. Obviously we lost 2-0 in extra time, but I remember buzzing because it was like County and drew 0-0 with Liverpool twice. And I think at that time, there was a record that was something like they were the only team to ever keep Liverpool goalless over 2 games in any competition. Obviously, then they lost in extra time.
Was it Michael Robinson who scored for Liverpool?
Robinson got both, I think, and I'm pretty sure he came on as a sub, but he got both the goals, yeah, as I remember.
Yeah, and it was a strong team as well. They didn't hold back, did they? They played.
There weren't really any reserve teams back then, whether the squads were like 15, 16 players, and that was it. So yeah, they had a like good side out in both games.
Yeah, I bet that was great. I mean, that's something that generations of County fans have never seen, have they? I mean, I've never seen us play a top end Premier League team, have we? Spurs maybe in the early 2000s when we got battered 4-0.
96, 97 cup run. You see any of that?
Yeah, but but I don't think I wouldn't have said any of them were top level Premier League teams, were they?
Yeah, I think even Spurs. I think Spurs is probably the only one I remember. But didn't we get beat 4-0 on that one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Phil Lloyd saying Everton 95, 96. Yeah, but Phil Lloyd says Everton 95, 96. But even then, I'd argue that they weren't top level Premier League. They just won the FA Cup the year before,
I know
but
what you
they
mean.
weren't.
You're talking like Big Four or whatever. So there's only really Liverpool, but sort of like 6-7 years previous to that was the Man United thing, which I don't remember. But a lot of like the older fans will, the 78 Cup game where we got ripped off at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
I think my point is we're due one. I think we're overdue. Having a good cup run where we get a top Premier League team. Definitely.
So we've got Kettering United at home. Is probably probably out that third round draw for us.
Yeah, seems to be
United away.
Yeah. In fact, Ian Dowder makes a good point. Blackburn were league champions when we beat them. Yeah, they were, but still, they were never sustainable up there, were they? I'm talking about that maybe the top 5 that you get that have always been there. United, Liverpool, Arsenal. I put in that bracket. Probably just them 3, to be fair, is it? I think.
Chelsea. Yeah, of course you would. You class Chelsea as a top.
Yeah, now I would,
Yeah.
but they weren't back then, were they?
Yeah, okay, yeah, fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, but definitely now I would. Yeah, City, obviously. Yeah, good stuff. Favorite game. Now we chatted slightly about this, didn't we? On just before we came on air. Favorite game.
Again, there's been that many over the years, but the one that sticks out would be Southampton in the cup, going there and beating them 2-1. Memorable for the fact that I was working at place near my Vitties at the time, and the guy, the boss there, actually let us borrow the works van to go down in. But it was only me and my mate that were allowed to go in the van because he worked with us at the time. So obviously we picked about 6 lads up on the way. We were all in the back of the van that weren't supposed to be. But then coming out of the ground, we had the windows smashed on the van. So we had to drive home. I'm sure it was February time. But I just remember it being absolutely freezing, getting back about 3:30 in the morning and just being like, never again. Back in work for 6 the next day as well. And having to clean the van out and clean all the glass out of the van. But yeah, that was probably the best one, I think. But there's been loads, aren't there, over the years where you can just, pick and choose, any.
Yeah. No, I mean we've got a snap there because Southampton away was my favourite as well. I missed an art exam. I missed a GCSE art exam to go Southampton away, and had a note from my mum. There you go.
You were wagging it.
Yeah.
I was wagging it. Yeah, I was
wagging it.
I was wagging it. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Stop it! He's not even here. You can't. Come on.
No, he's off sinking oil rigs, isn't he?
No, he's back now. He's back. He's back on terra firma in Blighty. So he's back, but he's just not here. He's having to make up with his wife, with his good lady wife, for the amount of time he's been away. So fair dues. We'll give him another week. He'll be back next week.
Yeah, it's just following on from what Steve was saying then about, there is so many. It's such a hard question because there is so many, and it's almost not a shock anymore if people say my generation or older pick a game of recent times, because there's been that many good games recently. It's just I could name a couple last year that could be in my top 5 games of all time. Do you know what I mean? It's such a tricky question, but yeah, good shout for the Southampton.
Yeah, you have to chuck Nuneaton in there as well, just for the way it was like the start of the rise again. Do you know what I mean? And like anybody was there, so that could be up there.
There'll also be ones where, and I'm sure we've all got them, and I definitely have, where Southampton away was a massive one, wasn't it? And it was a big high profile game, but there'll be other ones where somewhere between playing Nuneaton and Southampton, there'll be one right in the middle where it probably didn't mean much in terms of the game itself, but the away limbs, and you found yourself traveling 4 rows somewhere down a stand, and that might be your favorite as well, or definitely be up there.
Yeah, we've all done that.
Yes, we have. Favorite goal. I know I introduced you to the Gleeson one, but that was just pure random.
Right, and that is the one, actually. That's
Oh, right. Oh, there we go then.
Yeah, there you go. But that's why I thought you'd put it on. But that was the goal.
Yeah, you're right. He did.
Yeah. No, that's obviously one of the best goals, I think, and one of the most important goals that County have scored in my time. But again, same as that. All these questions, you could probably pull 10 out and have a decent conversation around all of them. I think when Big Kev scored at Wembley against Peterborough, got the equaliser with like a minute to go. That was probably as wild as I've gone at the game, thinking, right, we'll win this now, and then a minute later we've lost. So,
yeah.
It's interesting. Actually, we might flip the questions like as we get into the conversation. Worst moment, worst game.
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to remember them. But I'm sure Burnley and Wembley were up there for a lot of people. Okay, and then favourite player, you can have past and present. It's up to you. You can have one of each. You can have as many as you want.
I just thought the team Dave Jones had, for me, was the best. You know, even though some of the players we had in the Championship, I just thought Marsden was head and shoulders above anything in that team. And I think probably what I've seen at County, in all fairness. Do you know what I mean? I love somebody who can play in the middle of the park and just dictate the pace of the game. Can speed it up when they want. They can slow it down when they want. So he'd be the one sort of past the and present, I suppose. And then at the minute, I think Lewis Bates just come in. And I seen someone online the other day complaining about Bates, saying, what does he do? All he does is give the ball away.
I saw that.
I just look at stuff and I think to myself, like, do we all watch a different game of football here? Like, do you know what I mean? It's not to pull anyone out, but the amount of grass he covers in the 90 minutes is unreal.
It's really subjective, though, isn't it, football? Because I've said to the lads, you know, we're all watching the same thing, but we see something different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? 9,000, 10,000 people, and you oh well, you said a power cut. 9,000, 10,000 people, and you know you're probably going to get 5,000 different opinions.
Yeah,
it's great though. It's brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. Yeah, like you say, we're all watching. I know, but I'm optimistic, and I don't mind an argument. I'm not going to shy away from that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But it's been said a few times. It's just an opinion. That's all it is. You know, you just respect everyone else's opinion, and that's fine. That's the beauty of opinions. Nobody's right. So, and you know, you'd much rather be having opinions and discussions and talking about it and engaging than everyone agreeing with each other, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That's my take on it.
Yeah, well, that's why the game's lasted so long. You know, I mean, not lasted so long, but has grown and to be so important culturally in this game, in this country. Sorry, because everybody's got an opinion, and you know, I don't think there's anything such. There's no such thing as the right opinions. You know, we don't have the right opinions on this podcast. We just say what our opinions are. So,
but that's why podcasts do so well, and other forms of like media is because of opinions. You know, if we all have the same opinion, there won't be a podcast. Or
you can have it. That's it. You can discuss it, can't you?
Of course you can.
Whereas online, it tends to get a bit
heated.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is good watching some of the Twitter arguments though, going back and forth. Don't tend to get involved in them these days, but getting a bit too old for that now. So I'll let them all play their little game. So Marsden, good shout. He went on to have a good career as well, didn't he? Especially, I think Southampton was his main one, wasn't he?
That's right,
yeah. Good player. Him and Bennett in the middle. I mean, Bennett's my favourite ever player.
Right. Fair dude.
So, yeah. Have you met Marsden then? Have you ever had the?
I haven't.
Been fortunate enough to meet?
No, never met him. I saw Bennett the other week because he did the courtyard, didn't he, with John Kieran? So he was on there.
Did he?
Still speaks highly of County. Yeah, he was. I can't remember which game early on this season. But he was there, Tom Bennett. Yeah,
could have missed that.
You missed him.
Yeah.
Is he still in that band with Roger Wild? What was he called?
Fracture.
Fracture, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they are. I don't think they are because, well, I don't know. I'm saying this, but I don't think I'm pretty sure they're not because Roger Wild's in Sheffield and Tom Bennett's up in Chorley, I think. So
right.
I don't think that would be a thing. But just going back to Tom Bennett, I don't want to steal your favourite player moment, Steve, but going back to Tom Bennett, they say don't meet your heroes. I actually met Tom Bennett at the 96-97 reunion do. Managed to get tickets for that, which was a fantastic evening. And he was just the loveliest bloke ever. And he was just proper good. And they say don't meet your heroes, but I was so glad I met him. And then he came on the podcast subsequently. So yeah, really good. Yeah, so good. Yeah, and goosebumps thinking about it. See, this is what football does to you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, good answers. Like it. So you just stick around, Steve. Join in the conversation. We'll get straight into it. Wigan 0-0. Andy, let's come to you first. What did you make of that, mate?
Honest opinion, I loved it. All right, scoreline aside, playing Wigan at home, right? But
Premier League side a few years ago.
Oh, I'm not. I don't think I'm buying this argument of look who we were playing 5 years ago. We are where we are. We were where we were, But playing Wigan, it's brilliant. And as 0-0 draws go, all right, the first half was, pretty poor. But second half, it was entertaining. And even the first half, it had its entertaining moments. I definitely thought we were value for the win in the second half. But I believe that it was a good game, entertaining. I went away thinking, I'm happy with that because it was a point. I would have been annoyed if we'd lost based on that. But yeah, I'm generally happy.
Yeah, I had a chat with Barry from Progress and Unity, who we had a chat with last week, pre-game Wigan. He said that he thought Wigan edged it in the first half, but definitely second best in the second half. Steve, come to you. Would you agree with that? Do you think they were better than us in the first half?
I wouldn't disagree. But again, it's subjective, isn't it? And like people will see different things depending on where you sat, I suppose. But I thought it was a poor game. And I thought, I don't normally complain about referees. When people go, oh, he was this way, he was that. He was a bad ref on Saturday, and he spoiled the game. Really, he wouldn't allow anything to be taken quickly. He just took all the pace out of the game. So for me, he spoiled it really. But I suppose the point was about fair result because even when we're on top, we don't create chances. You can't feel a goal coming. Do you know when you look back at even if you watch City now or Liverpool, when they're on top, you go, they're going to score in a minute. I don't think we sort of create that much in it to make you feel that way. We'll create one good chance every 10, 15 minutes, but we don't build any sustained amount of pressure. And that frustrates me at times because I think we've got it within us to be able to do that.
I was just going to say, does that not just come with that we're still finding our way in the league a little bit? We are...
To me, it's more about Challinor and the way that he plays the game, and it's all controlled. And I get it. Do you know what I mean? It's getting us results, so it's not me having a pop at the manager, but it's just the way I see the game and think when you've got somebody under pressure, keep them in, just keep them penned in. But we don't, and we'll go backwards to the halfway line, and then we'll keep the ball and we allow them to regain their shape. Whereas if we can just move the ball a little bit quicker at times, pull the defenders around. So sometimes, where I sit, I'm sort of up a tier in the Cheadle end, right behind the goal. And if you don't watch the ball, if you just watch the opposition players, you'll know where the ball is. And if they're not sprinting into position, they're in control of the game, even though they haven't got the ball. So to me, we need to move the ball a bit quicker at times. That's just again, that's just my view on it.
I think it's a learning curve for Charlie as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We've brought all these sort of younger end players in, and they're learning. I think I still say it. Next year we will be absolutely mustard, because Charlie will have learned a lot. The players will have learned a lot, and I think you put the two together, I think we're going to be quite something next year.
Do you think it has quite the feel of the season before we go up again? Do you know, because we've had that a few times recently, haven't we?
Yeah,
you can kind of feel it bubbling. I totally agree with you, Steve. I agree with everything that's been said, really. But Steve, in particular, on this thing where we don't look as potent. It's like that sharpness up front, that sort of cutting edge. We're very good at the back third, the middle third. When it comes to the final third, despite having Barry, Woods, Diamond, Fevs, all these really, really good players, you just don't get that feeling that we're going to score every time we go up. Whereas we did in sort of previous seasons, didn't we?
Well, it probably come as no surprise, but I'm going to disagree with you both of your opinions, Steve and Russ, because only on the basis that just what I was saying is we're still new. The whole team's new. We have no idea what's our best fit, how we attack, how we press. And let's be honest, Wigan were very, very good at pressing. Very, very good. And they did it brilliantly in the first half. But then when we kind of tweaked a few things, second half, we did manage to sort of like break that sort of duck, as they call it. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's still new. I think second half of the season, like the county teams come good second half of the season, we'll see a totally difference to what you guys are saying, I think.
Yeah. Like on that sort of high press thing, a lot of teams are going to do that to us now because they're obviously aware we want to play out from the back. So then team selection to me becomes Tanto should be playing instead of Wootton. Because if it's a high press, what's the point in putting a ball up to a centre forward who's going to hold the ball up? If it's a high press, knock one in behind and let someone run onto it. So, and the most successful we were last season in winning League Two was when we had Tanto and Barry playing off each other. When we went
a bit more direct.
We went on that 12-game winning run. But it's a bit like what Guardiola did at City, and they had a system. Everybody started to work out the system. Then they brought Haaland in, who was a completely different option. So now they can play short. If teams high press, they can go long, and he's going to get onto it. And I just think Wootton's a little bit wasted in that when there's a team that's playing a high press against us. But we're getting results. We've only lost one. So what's to complain about? That's what I mean. I kind of like beat my own arguments sometimes, but
you're absolutely spot on. We've lost one game, and it's our first season back in the League One for 14 years or something. So it's difficult to pick holes in it. But I just wanted to say that Wigan. I mean, credit to Wigan though on Saturday as well, because like you said, Andy, they were very good at pressing. Not only that, they looked well oiled, well drilled, didn't they? They just looked organised, so organised.
And for a new team as well, they've got what was it, like 6 loan players they've got?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
The chap, sorry, I forgot his name. The chap from the Oppo review, he was saying that they're not a buying club anymore. Barry, sorry. So 6 loan players. So young team as well. So they did it really well. They did do it really well. But yeah, it'll come good, won't it? It will come good. And no, sorry I was thinking of something to say, not thinking, I had something to say and then realised it popped out and popped back in. What you were saying about only lost once, I think it just feels like we've lost a couple more just because there's games where we should have won them really. So I know we have only lost once, but I do think, that 19 points target that Charlie was speaking of, we should be there, I think.
Yeah.
But like I said though to you, Andy, a few days ago, we got 16 points from the first 9 games. You if we get 16 points from every block of 9 games, that's 80 points. 80 points will get us in the playoff without a shadow.
Yeah.
That's good. You'll be getting people excited with stats like that. With stats like that, well, you get me excited anyway. You can't see. It's all happening below the table line.
I love stats like that. Anything that mentions the word playoff or top 3 or top 2 for this year, love it.
Yeah,
We can't go up this year. Great side, great manager, great coaching staff, but it would be a year too soon or 2 years too soon for us to go up this year.
I agree with that, but I'll still take the promotion party all day long.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100% you would.
Absolutely. Steve, coming to you, what do you think of Powell's return? Are you a Poweller or not a Poweller?
Yeah, no, I am. I think he's a great footballer. I just think, like everyone else, at times you've got to question his application. And the other day, obviously, Wigan's his former club. I think that's kind of where he had his best days. Or, I know he went to Stoke and did a bit, but they love him there. So he's obviously got a point to prove in that sense. But I thought Bailey did well as well when he come on the other day. But yeah, Powell, he's got the potential to be like a cut above even in this division. Do you know what I mean? Because what is he now? Is he still only 29? And
I think he's 29. Yeah.
So he's played in the Championship. Still probably got his best years, the best 2. We could still get another good 2 or 3 years out of him. I just wonder whether he will be as bothered in 2 or 3 weeks' time if he's getting a regular game. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I just think that like sometimes everything's got to be played around him. And if it's not played around him and he's not the focal point of the team, it kind of looks like he's not interested. But again, I think the thing with this squad is that all the way down to like number 20, we've got players that are capable. And I think that's why throughout the season, when you say we'll come good at, after Christmas or whatever, it's because of the size of the squad. And and people talk about the best 11. I don't think all season we're going to see a consistent starting 11 because there are that many players. And it already seems to me like the manager is managing minutes of players. Now, whether that's to do with the amount of injuries we had last season and he's trying to combat that, I don't know. But it's almost as if substitutes are pre-planned before the game. And regardless of which way the game's going, those substitutes are made. So I think that
they're pre-planned, aren't they?
Yeah. So going back to the original question, I really like Powell. Same as everybody else. I just wish we could see the best Nick Powell every week, but it's just not going to happen, is it?
No.
You know what? I don't know. I reckon if he got a start and he stays in the side, we'll see a better Nick Powell than we did last year, playing with arguably better players against better players. I think he could be a big player for us this year, Nick Powell.
Yeah, I agree with JKB as well. His comment. I just think playing him for that little bit further forward, because they touched on it in the Courtyard Club call, that his ratio of winning headers, for other teams was unbelievable. So and I totally agree with going back to the Wharton thing. Take him off, put Tanto on for the high press teams. I could be wrong and probably get lynched here, but at the moment I'm not Woods' his biggest fan, just because it seems to. I'm not saying they're all his fault, or a lot of them are. He does get, sort of mulled over a lot by defenders and what have you, but he seems to create a lot of free kicks, whether it's us for them, and it's a lot of stop-start. The game doesn't flow as much, in my opinion. But maybe swap Woods out with Powell, because on Saturday I thought Powell was brilliant. It's just effortless for him. He glides around the pitch. It's, brilliant. So we'll see.
Is that, Andy, is that more down to how you like to see football being played? Because Wotton's a target man, isn't he? Grappling and fighting and strength and all that kind of stuff. Do you like it to be more maybe free-flowing, Powell sort of playing a slide rule pass into Tanto to run on and that kind of thing?
Yeah, that kind of thing. I remember, I know this is probably like a freak example, but I remember, I like sort of counter-attacks as well. I'll never forget that moment where Jason Taylor bombed it from the halfway line and just absolutely ran with the ball. And, because it gets the crowd going. And, if you've seen my previous shows on here, I'm all about the atmosphere as well. Don't get me wrong. I think Woods is a good player. I think he's improved massively since, from the time that we got him from Notts. But I just think try something a bit different. We have gone a little bit stale, haven't we, up top over the last few games. It's not all down to Barry or it's not all down to whoever's on the other side with him. But I don't know. It's just at the moment, it's just not doing it for me.
Yeah. Fair dues. Stu, who's doing it for you?
For me, well, I mean, obviously Louis Barry, obviously. But I've been really impressed with Fraser Horsfall. Other end of the pitch, obviously, but he can just tell that he can play in the Championship easily. He's just literally, physically as well, head and shoulders above everybody else.
Yeah. Did he get man of the match on Saturday? Did he get man of the match on Saturday?
Well,
Or sponsors man of the match?
Shrewsbury did, didn't he? Saturday was Camps, was it?
Was it Camps? Right. I was going to come on to Camps actually next. Yeah, but 100% with Horsfall. Yeah, he's a Rolls Royce of a defender, isn't he? He has been since he's come to the club. I was going to say special word for Camps. We just look. I don't know why. We just look like more settled and in control when Camps is on the pitch. To me, it just seems all a bit more less chaotic, if you like. Would you go with that, Steve?
I think Camps moves the ball a bit quicker, doesn't he? Lewis Bate is good, but I think he's a bit ponderous sometimes, whereas Camps will move it quickly.
Yeah, I rate Camps. Said last season I really liked him, but I think he's got to be in the starting 11. But again, I think it's all about managing minutes for the manager. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't see us having a consistent 11 for like a 4 or 5 game period at any point of the season, just because there is so like say if Powell plays, does that mean Norwood can't play? And he had his first game against Bristol Rovers was probably his best game, but since then he's not really shone, has he? And again with Barry, there's been like glimpses. He scored some great goals, obviously, and glimpses in games, but I don't think I've come away from any game this season thinking Barry was brilliant today. But he should be. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think that's the step up in level, though, Steve?
Yeah, quite possibly. Yeah, because what's happening is as well, because he's playing on the left, they know he's going to cut in onto his right foot. So they're doubling up inside. And there was the one the other day where he went round the outside and he should have really squared it when he was at the second half of the Cheadle end and he shot, the keeper saved it with his legs. But you can see he's so uncomfortable on his left-hand side. Do you know what I mean? So maybe just switch wings with him and Fev or him and Diamond. Do you know what I mean? Every now and again, just have a signal from the bench which goes, you two switch, and just give him something else to think about.
Or use the key word that you said there, square it, pass it a bit more.
Yeah.
I think for me, if you just passed it a bit more, but class player.
But he's still only a kid, isn't he? When you think about it, really, he is still only a kid. He's got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Is he 20? Yeah. 21, 20?
21, I think, is he?
Yeah, 21.
There's loads of potential there. The only issue is if he keeps scoring goals at the rate he is, somebody might come in January with however many million Villa want to sell him. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't see that as a bad thing. We've got Diamond, haven't we? So I think Diamond could just fit in there anyway. He excites me. He's such a good forward-thinking player. Dribbles as well. I think I reposted a stat today. Barry's got the most dribbles in the league, in League One, but I'd like to see where Diamond is on that chart. I don't think he was quite made the chart, but he does like a dribble.
He's not at the minutes though, are they, compared to Barry?
Compared to Barry, no. One thing about Barry though is, I know we say, he probably needs to pass it more. Yeah, he's young. Yeah, he's a match winner though, isn't he? He's that is that cliche of you could probably do nothing all match and then pop up with a piece of brilliance that wins you the game, and it's almost worth keeping him on for, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Go on,
on
Steve.
that, I'd have took him off at Barnsley. After an hour, I'd have been saying, I was saying, you know what I mean? After an hour, I was saying, get Barry off, get Fev on the wing or get Diamond on. But then obviously he scores in the last minute. But I think that's the sign of a good team. I was always told, like playing football, the sign of a good team is when you've got 7 or 8 match winners in your team. So if you win 1-0, nobody would be able to guess who the scorer was until they were told. And I think we've got that now. I don't, you know what I mean? I think we're very close to like being that team.
Yeah. I think when Diamond finds his feet and starts scoring, I think he'll get a lot.
Mm.
Yeah, he will. He will. I know he's already scored any Diamond, but I still think there's more to come from him. T.E. Hatter 92 says Diamond is joint second most completed dribbles in League One. I must have missed that on that tweet then. I do apologise. But yeah, I can believe that. Him and Barry.
And that's with less minutes compared to Barry as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Okay. Anything more about the Wigan games? Anything stand out from? Oh, no. I don't know why I missed it. It's just popped up now. 19, Jack Diamond and Kane Ramsey. 20 is Louis Barry. Yeah. There you go. Anything more about the Wigan game? Anything stand out for you that you want to mention before we move on?
I bet we sold out of pies.
There's the goal, isn't there? There's the obvious goal, but I think it's been done now, and it.
Yeah.
I don't. To be fair, I was downstairs anyway, so I didn't see it. But I watched every replay. I couldn't see anything wrong with it personally, but.
No, Steve, you were probably right in front of it.
Yeah.
Just up to 3.
If it had stood, I wouldn't have complained.
Yeah.
So it's just one of them. It did hit his hand, but it didn't. It was unintentional. But I suppose that's the game these days. Do you know what I mean? It's different laws than what a lot of us are used to. It's they sort of make their own rules up, these referees now. So
yeah. On the it's worth actually if you've missed it on the Courtyard Club call on Monday. It's better on the YouTube video. We did a bit of our own VAR with the technology that we've got, technology allowing, and slowed it right down. And even when the lads slowed it right down, you could not see where that handball was. Well, I couldn't anyway, and I don't think the lads could either. But kudos to the ref for spotting that. I think you're right. I think we've got away with one there. Really, haven't.
You say that. Well done to the ref. And I'm not going to go down ref watch or anything like that, but he can spot a handball which nobody else saw, but he can't spot Carragher's son going to stood showing first dangerous tackle from 3 yards away or whatever he was. So
yeah, you make a good point. Yeah.
That was the thing with the ref, sort of like as a last point on that game, is like the frustration was we had 3 players booked for dissent, and it was. But that was brought on by the referee and the poor decisions, like that one. Should have been a red card. But I guess because it was only sort of 2 minutes in, he bottled it a little bit. But Ethan Pye getting booked when he was, the guy was all over him in the box from the corner. So,
yeah.
And as the running back, he books Ethan Pye. Camps got booked when he got fouled and he got up and complained about it. Barry obviously got booked for bouncing the ball, They're just stupid bookings, really. But they shouldn't be getting booked for dissent. But a lot of it was because of the frustration of the referee, I think.
Yeah, I think he was gonna blow up whatever happened. Someone could have tripped. It was always gonna blow up. It's just it's going back to what John Kieran said. On getting the rezzers. It's just let him play. If there's something happens after play, it happens, but it's just so frustrating as a fan when you sat there and the ref, because we can't hear what they're talking about. For all we know, the ref could be asking Ethan Powell what he's having for tea later on. We have no idea, and it's boring. Just to sit there and watch this ref just go back and then, hand up, give him a warning. I can't stand it, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's in the rezzers, as you know. So.
Well, that referee didn't know it was in the rezzers, did he?
No, he didn't. If you want, Andy, later, if you want, you can get it back out of the rezzers and double dunk it if you want.
Yeah, okay.
Let's move on from Wigan then, because time's rushing on. We're on 45 minutes already, gentlemen. So, international call-ups: Fiorini Scotland under 21s, Toure Gambia, Adaramola Ireland under 21s. Wycombe match got postponed, I think, literally within 15 minutes. I think I was walking back to the car, actually, when it got postponed, when it was announced that it got postponed. Something stupid like that. Maybe not as quick as that, but right decision in your eyes? Steve, come to you first, mate.
Difficult one, innit? Like, I don't really know what the thinking is behind it. Obviously, we've lost 2 left backs, so in that sense, maybe. It's frustrating. You want to play, don't you? So
yeah.
For me, there's going to be, you always get them fixture backlogs at the end of the season, and we're just making our own problems there. But again, if we go and win those 2 games when we replay the Reading and the Wycombe one, I know the Reading one wasn't our fault, but yeah, who knows at this stage?
Yeah, no, I think that's the key, isn't it? No recognised left back. Stu, what about you? Are you? Well, firstly, do you agree with the postponement? Secondly, are you? I said you said before you're not a fan of the international breaks, anyway.
Yeah, not a fan of the international breaks. I just got no interest in it, really, if I'm honest. But like I've said, as Andy, I sort of put it in the rezzers by proxy a few weeks ago. You sign good players, you've got to expect that they're going to get called up for international duty. So whether you start moaning about the number of games they're playing or games being called off, don't sign good players then. So, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I've got to say on international call-ups.
Yeah. Andy, what do you like? Do you like England matches, internationals, or am I the only person?
I love England matches, but we all say club, we would all, if it was County we were playing or England we were playing, we'd all be watching County if they were on at the same time. Yeah. So for me, the answer to the first question is no, I don't think it was the right call. Well, I saw a comment actually on the socials saying we've done it based on a left back. That's the reason, and I get that. I totally get that. But let's say when the replay comes about, 3 of our forwards are out injured, which, judging by last season and the start of this season, it could happen. We might have a left back, we might not have a left back, and we might not have 3 forwards. So we've got almost a fully fit squad apart from a left back issue, which we do have options. We have Pye that can play there. We can change, we can tweak it and make the most out of the decent players that are all full fit. And let's not forget to mention, we still have players that still need minutes that have just come back from injury as well. So I just think there's another question. I'm going to do a Dave Challoner here and say,
ask yourself a question.
Ask yourself a question. But was it worth? Do we think Fiorini? Have I said it right? Yeah, Fiorini. Yeah. Fiorini was ready enough to start that game against Wigan. Oh my word, not Wigan. Wigan. And I don't think he was. I don't think he was fit enough to start that game. So it's kind of like we've sacrificed a game just to put off another game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But,
I mean, we don't know because Charlie's always talking about players' loads, isn't he? And they can manage the loads throughout the week in training. But then does that impact Saturday? Probably. Doing it myself now.
Quite contagious, isn't it? It's like yawning.
Like you say, have they played Fiorini so they can get the Wigan game called off and then do a bit more work on the training ground on, whatever it is Charlie and co want to work on, maybe.
I think the only sort of good thing to come from it, maybe this is just from a selfish point of view in going to games, is that the 2 games that have been called off, and it's likely the Wrexham one will be in a few weeks' time, they're all home games.
Yeah.
So they're all midweek home games. Now, I don't know whether that's come into the thinking in something like Reading and Wickham are going to have to travel on a Tuesday morning for a Tuesday evening game. I don't know, but it's just, at least they're all going to be at home rather than having to go to them places on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, definitely. That's my thinking as well. It feels like it's a calculated risk, and almost like the pawn that they've played in this strategic game is putting Fiorini on, so you've got the option to postpone the Wickham match. And I think dragging them up on a Tuesday night is better than us playing them on a Saturday without a recognised left back. Yeah, you can put Pye there. Totally accept that, and that's probably what would have happened, to be honest, if we'd not had the other call-ups. So it's just it's a Saturday where we haven't got County. That's the main thing, isn't it?
I hate it. I have a question though, and why do under 21s get this ruling where you can call a game off if under 21s don't count towards your squad numbers? Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like under the age of a certain age, don't count towards squad numbers. So why would that affect if you can call a game off or not?
That's a good shout. Oof.
Who makes them rules? Is it the FA? Is it the EFL? Is it FIFA? Is it UEFA? Who is it?
We don't have any answers here, Stu. We just ask questions.
All right.
And normally no one else is allowed to.
Just noticed that.
You just have to. No, but
me getting a yellow card.
It's probably. I'm guessing it's the EFL because they set the squad rules, don't they? They set the squad number rules and things. The FA's influence seems to be diminishing year on year by the sounds of it, from what I can see. But yeah, I would go for the EFL. If anyone wants to put into the comments if they know, they've read the documents that are on the EFL website. You know, you can download all the documents, can't you, from the FA and the EFL and all these things. You know, the rule book and that. It's probably in there somewhere. Section 16B4, probably.
And just for the audio listeners as well, let's not kid. Russ has read it page to page.
I haven't. It's not really my thing. I might get AI to summarize it for me. There you go. Okay. That's the international call-ups. Before we move on to getting rezzers, another bit of admin. The Andy Priest event for the Supporters Cooperative is on the 20th of November. It's already been announced. It's already out there. Tickets are coming on sale very, very soon. And hoping to get Roger Wilde over for that as well. But look out for that on the Co-op website and any comms from them. Obviously, we'll retweet any of that and reshare any of that. So that was going to be a good night for Andy Priest. And also do like the show as well if you're watching live or if you're watching on YouTube back, and rate and review us on whatever podcast player you're listening to us on as well. That would be really, really nice as well. Thank you very much. Right, get in the rezzers then. I need to play my video, don't I? Not spent ages doing this for nothing. Let's play Get in the Rezzers.
Get in the rezzers.
Come on, get in rezzers.
Get in
Get in rezzers.
That's rubbish. Get in rezzers.
I'm not having that. Get in rezzers.
So, getting rezzers. I've actually got one that's been sent in. So I'm going to do that one first. While you finish, you're thinking of one or you've already got one. I don't know. But first, getting the rezzers is people calling Lewis Bates, and that was sent in by Tyler Eisel.
That's a belter.
I got to know in Pinatar when we was in Pinatar. I shared a few drinks and a few chats with him. So yeah. People calling Lewis Bates. Is that on a par with Hinchcliffe, or is that less? Is that worse? Less? Is that better? What is it? You know, what's that?
Yeah, it's on a par.
Yeah, because it's your name, isn't it? It's it should be. You know, I get it all the time. Reading. You know, is that double D? No, it's RED. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Are you sure?
Do you know what I get a lot? I get Johnson. Is that with or without a T? I get that a lot. It's like,
you think before is that with or without an H, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you think it'd be more that, yeah. with or without a T.
Johnston.
I don't know.
Like
Yeah.
a paint trophy.
Yeah. So, and then sticking on names, I'm going to do another one on names. This is my getting the rezzers. Then we'll go around the table. I don't always go first, Steve. I always go last.
That's right. Sure. You do what you want.
My other one is calling players by their first name when you don't know the player. So you don't know them personally, but you call them by the first name. That gives me the ick.
Yeah, but
That really
on
does.
that, but some players are like that. You know what I mean? Like if Louis Barry gets the ball, you don't say "Go on, Barry." You'll shout "Go on, Louis." But if it's Jack Diamond, then you do use Diamond. I don't know how you differentiate. Do you know what I mean? Like there are.
Yeah. I don't know because I just call him Barry. I don't,
Yeah. Right. Okay.
yeah. I would just call him Barry. Yeah. If I can understand, like obviously Febs has got his nickname and the club call him Febs.
Yeah.
Nicknames are okay when they come out of the club or
Well,
it's widely accepted.
So on the occasion where if Hinchliffe was playing and he made a save, would you say good save Ben or good save Hinchliffe?
Personally, I'd say Hinchliffe.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking now. What would I say?
Yeah.
that's what I mean.
Is this a controversial one?
No. It's just a thing, isn't it? Like depending on who gets the ball, you just shout out what comes to mind. I think, and
Probably say Ben, wouldn't you? Because you
that's
shout
what
at
I mean.
it.
Yeah.
To me, it'd be Ben. On the rare
I
occasion,
think because of this relationship the club are building. Sorry, Steve, go on, mate.
No, just saying. I would say Ben, but
Yeah. I think I was going to say then because the relationship the club are building between the players and the fans. You know, Rush, you're right. We don't know them and they don't know us, but you do feel like you can go like someone's put there. Oh, Ian Dowd and Ben will always be Ben. He's right. Alex Fenny and Paddy will always be Paddy.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll caveat it then. You know, with these ones that have been around for. Oh, Andy's gone. These ones that have been around for a long time that do have that relationship with us. In some circumstances, perhaps it's right that that you can use it. I guess what I'm talking about is things like when you're in conversation and someone will just drop in their first name. And you're like, what do you know them personally? Or I guess I'm not talking about in the ground when Ben Hinchliffe's been with us for 10 years or whatever. It's getting on for 10 years, isn't it? It's probably okay to shout Ben. I mean, I don't think I'd ever do that, but that's just me personally. But I think when you're in the say you're in the pub or you're just in the street or whatever, you talk to somebody and they'll say, I don't know, just drop a first name in. Like David or Dave instead of Charlie, I'd be like, that gives me the ick. That.
I'm going to tell everyone I've been on the podcast with Johnson.
Yeah. Hopefully you get what I mean. You get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's obviously there's different opinions in the comments as well. I'm starting to doubt my own sort of getting the rezzers now for this, purely because of some of the examples. Like Paddy's a good example. That's a really good example as well. But yeah, Andy's struggling now. Anyway, Steve, what's your getting the rezzers?
I think we've already gone across a couple of them. Saturday's ref would have been a getting the rezzers, but we've done that. I think for me would be towards the back end of the season. I think September might be a getting the rezzers because I think we took 3 points from 4 games. So I'd chuck that in there. And another one is we sing the songs too fast.
Oh, just
done
it, haven't you?
So much, like they just need to get the words out as quick as they can. And that does my head in. But
can you take that one out, please? Because that was mine.
Oh, really?
Oh, just
killed you.
So go on, Andy. What's it? There's a nice little seamless segue there. What is it about singing too fast that what you want to get in the rezzers? What is it?
Well, just that you can't. It's like Blue. Oh, mate, it should be long and drawn out. don't get me wrong, they do a great job up there, and they start off a lot of the atmosphere, and it's brilliant. I don't have the lungs to start them off anymore, but just, the blue scarf, it should be drawn. I remember when you drawn out, even the IO County, that went on still as the corner's being taken, but now it's over and done before it's even been taken. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, so I'll have to put my other one in, which is really poor, but it really winds me up, and it's not even football related. And it's the packaging on peppers. Why is that the weakest thing, right? It's so, you open it so neatly, take one pepper out, and by the time you've gone back, it's rips, and the pepper doesn't fall, and then all the seeds fall, and it's one of those things that just winds me up. If I was on room 101, it would be in there. But we're not. It's in the rezzers. So there's a load of peppers in the rezzers. Packaging.
Pepper packaging.
Pepper packaging, yeah.
Pepper packaging.
Sorry. I had a cracking
Right.
one, but someone nicked it. So
Yes,
that can be the episode title. Pepper packaging. Yeah.
Oh well, serves another purpose.
Yeah. Stu, what's yours, mate?
I'm struggling, mate. I was watching County on telly. Might have been Accrington, I can't remember. And I remember thinking the Sky commentators, next time I'm on, I'm going to have them as getting the rezzers. Well, I can't remember why now. It might have been they were saying Hinchcliffe, and they're
Probably.
coming out with some absolute nonsense fact that isn't even a fact. But other than that, if we're doing random ones,
Hang on. Before you go there, what about your one that you mentioned to me with your high fiving?
oh yeah, that's ridiculous. That keeper makes an half decent save, and everyone's jumping all over him, high fiving him. I don't want to sound like Roy Keane, but you're doing your job. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? It's your job. You've saved it. You've got gloves on. You've saved it. Right, nice one. Crack on.
But you did say half decent save, didn't you? But what if the goalkeeper makes an absolute worldie of a game saving save? Yeah, I've said that right, Anna. Would you allow that? Would you allow that?
No. Just you know what I mean. A bit of a right, nice one, well done, pat on the back, brilliant.
Don't
But
know,
not to the extent.
But if someone scores a goal,
Yeah,
everyone jumps on them, and
Yeah. But
I know what you mean.
I knew someone was going to pull that out, and that's why I told you.
I've thrown you under the bus here.
Have you got an answer ready?
I've thrown you under the bus here, haven't I, Stu? Because I knew for a fact it won't get put in the rezzers. Just because,
I can't believe it. But the random one I was going to have was these delivery drivers on like electric bikes.
Oh yeah.
I've been in Manchester today, and I've been nearly knocked over twice by them. One going through red lights and one driving on the curb.
Yeah.
They
They can get in the rezzers. Yeah. Fair dues.
With
Fair
my
dues.
peppers.
Yeah, pepper packaging. I want to say pepper. I want to say Peppa Pig somehow. I don't know why. Phil Lloyd, just going back to my getting the rezzers. Phil Lloyd says, if I'm discussing a player, I tend to use their full name. That's kind of what I'm talking about. It's that bit, when you're discussing a player and you say, and you don't know them, and you go in first name and not saying anything else. Like you did, but you don't know him. Anyway, I'll leave it there. You can see it's a thing for me. And then Jim Halpert comes in, one for you, Steve. People taking a dump on the crofter.
Or on the coach. Well,
Yeah.
they need the toilet, don't they? They've got to use the toilet.
Ruins it for everybody else, though, doesn't it?
Maybe we should put a sign up, number ones only.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's move on. So just a quick one on the Betty Bet game. The Betty Bet game, I think there's 17 people in it, left out of 25. Obviously can't do the next game week until a week on Saturday. I think it is. Not playing Tuesday, are we? Week on Saturday, isn't it? Charlton away. So that'll be the next one. So, yeah, once that's all said and done, I don't know how long that's going to take, but we'll start a new one. And the money will be for Mentel again. So keep an eye on that. Right, Steve, on to you, mate. Right, first question. I always ask this to every fan guest that we have on. Why County?
Why not? I mean, I was brought up in Adswood, so as like when we were kids, like Friday night was youth club night. So you'd get like 50 pence off your mum and off to go to youth club. You'd be able to see the floodlights just in the background. So 50 pence would go in your pocket and over to Edgeley Park on a Friday night, jump over Alvin Morris, and you were in, or go over the rubber pitch at the back, which is, for anyone who doesn't remember, it's like the Together stand now. Used to be the port side. Used to be a fence about 6-7 foot high, so we'd peg each other up and over the fence we'd go. And I think because I've always played football anyway, so it was just that thing of going to watch County. So when I was a kid, my dad used to take me to Anfield quite a lot. But then whenever my dad wasn't around, I'd just go and watch County. And then as soon as you get to like 13, 14 and you can go to the games on your own, going to away games, you just get the bug for it, don't you? And that was it. So from being sort of 15, 16, that was my first season. So like just as Bagara came in, going to all the away games. I had a bit of sabbatical for in between when I was playing football myself on a Saturday. But you'd always watch out for the scores. You'd always go to the midweek games. And that was it, really. Just being local just meant that County was the team to support.
Yeah. So you grew up in Adswood then. So would you have gone over Bridge Hall to get to the games, over the Monkey Bridge, or would you have gone round?
No, we used to go by Bakery Field and down by the dairy, Stockholm Road, over the rezzers that way.
Right, yeah.
But then I lived on Bridge Hall for years anyway, so then as I got older, that'd be the way I'd go over the Monkey Bridges. But again, it's just that thing of like, I think, especially night games, when you see the floodlights in the background, it's like, a moth to light in it, you just get drawn over there. So that was it. Just the chance to watch football, really.
Yeah. Oh, sound. And you're part of the Croft. Tell us about the Crofter coaches then.
So about 4 years ago, when we played Bolton in the cup and tried to get on a coach, and they were all full. So ended up speaking to landlord in the Crofter at the time, which was Tom, because I knew Tom anyway. Said, if I run coaches from here, would you be all right with it? And that was it, really. We just started then. So 3 coaches to Rotherham, which was the first trip we did. I think they were like the Delhi Express. I think there was about 200 people on each coach, like held together with bungee rope, trying to keep the doors shut. But yeah, from there, it's just been sound. It's been good. Do you know what I mean? So we've moved now down to the Con Club. So I think most games we get 2 coaches. If it's one of the London ones, likelihood is we'll only take 1. But yeah, we have a fairly regular set of lads and women that come on the coaches. But it's good. Enjoy it. Love the away games. The away games are the best ones usually, aren't they? And some of them are, it's some of the ones that you don't expect as well. Like coming back from Sutton, I think it was last year when we'd won 3-0, and it was just, I think that was the time when everyone was like, we're going to win this league, So the journey home can be brilliant sometimes, but then obviously you get the others where you go there expecting to win, you get beat, it's freezing cold coming home. But it's all part and parcel, isn't it? It's all a story.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, away games, there's something about away games, isn't there? Like you say, you get the bug, don't you? Especially if you go and you're like, you as a kid, and then when you start going by yourself, I think that's when it clicks, in it for a lot of people. Yeah. Away games, when you can go with just your mates by yourself. Yeah. That's when it gets you.
Just while we're on the coaches, I know you do the giveaways sometimes, like the competitions or whatever you do. So I'll speak to either of you afterwards, and I'll give you 2 places on one of the coaches for one of your giveaways.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's brilliant. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, nice one. Good stuff.
Just going back to that Sutton game, I was because I went to the one way, didn't I? And I was staying over in London for the weekend. But just that was a a brilliant going there as well. It really was.
Yeah.
We should get the whole team on, Russ, and do a coach.
I'm trying to get Ollie Beaumont comes on sometimes. Chris's lad, and I've said to him, you need to get your dad on one of these coaches. So if we can get his dad on, get Chrissy Beaumont on one of them, then
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Definitely. Honestly, the trouble with coaches are they dry coaches, or are we allowed to say that online? Or
officially, yeah. I mean, if you want to bring your own flask on that's got like a drop of something stronger in, then I won't say anything. But no, officially the dry coaches.
Yeah, fair do. So flasks only, and some egg butties, or not egg butties, as I saw the other day.
Oh, definitely. Or we've had complaints about pickled onion Monster Munch as well. They smell. They stink apparently. That's it.
Pickled onion Monster Munch. Brilliant. Love it. I think we've lost Stu anyway. I think his electric went, didn't he? So he's probably on his battery. So we've lost, for audio listeners, we've lost Stu. So he won't be. Don't think he'll be talking anymore on this podcast.
In case you think it's just getting no say whatsoever.
yeah. People there going, we can't get a word in edgeways. Okay, so good stuff. I think we'll wrap it up there. Cheers for coming on, Steve. It's been great to have you on. We'll definitely get you back on. I just want to ask you a question though. Jim Halpert has asked. I take it you must know Jim Halpert, do you? I don't know. He has asked, and I'll save this for the end of the podcast. Where did you get your prints that are behind your head? So for the audio listeners, Steve got some really nice prints of Stockport behind him.
It's the
that's it.
The skyline of Stockport, and I've literally moved into this house 3 months ago. The guy over the road does canvases, so I found that online, and he's printed them off for me. So if anybody wants any, give us a shout. Pay the guy over the road; he'll do them a little bit cheaper than you can find them online. So little plug for him as well.
Nice, yeah, because they do look smart. To be fair, so yeah, I think you might have some sales there.
Yeah, well, they won't be for me. I won't be making any money off them, but I'll put you in touch with a guy and
with him. Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. If you can get us I don't know if he's got a link or something to a website or whatever, but if you can get something to me.
I think I found the prints online, the picture online. It was on one of these Etsy or something like that. And he mentioned he does canvases. So basically I just asked him, would he be able to do that? And that's what he come up with. So
nice. Yeah.
Looks
smart. Yeah, nice one. Yeah, cheers for coming on, Steve. Really appreciate it. Good stories. Like it. Andy, brilliant, mate. Your audio's been amazing today. You can definitely come back on, mate.
Did I flicker out of signal a couple of times though?
Yeah,
you
did. Yeah, you dropped off, but audio listeners won't even know a thing. Just people watching.
Well,
and
next time it'll be a totally different thing. All new studio next time. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Some might say that you weren't, when you were off, you weren't even missed. Some might say, that's not me. Some.
Yeah.
Some. Anyway, right. I'm going to close it there. Cheers for everybody watching. Please do like and review, all that good stuff. And we will see you. Well, you'll see the lads on the Monday for the Courtyard Club call. No, they're doing a special Courtyard Club call on Monday, I think, just to tide things over. It is International Week, obviously. And then we'll be back next Wednesday. Well, we'll be looking ahead to the Charlton match the following Saturday. Okay, cheers everybody. See you later.
Thank you. Cheers. Bye.
And that's a wrap for this episode of the Scarf Bagara War. We hope you enjoyed the podcast. Remember, you can catch us every week on your favourite podcast platform, whether it's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or Google Podcasts. And a huge thank you to all of our Patreon members. Your contributions help keep the show running to bring the content you love. If you'd like to support the podcast and get access to exclusive special guest episodes, ad-free podcasts, and a monthly giveaway, head over to patreon.com/the Scarf Bagara War. And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates, behind the scenes content, and more. You can find us on X, Facebook, and Instagram, all at County Podcast. Lastly, if you enjoyed the show, please leave us a review and share it with your fellow County fans. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Scarf Bagara War. Come on, County!